Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game? Featuring Emberleaf. My name is Christine, and in this video I'll give you an overview of how the game is played, and then share a few things I may like or dislike about the game to help you decide if you want to add Emberleaf to your collection. This is the game Emberleaf, and basically what we're trying to do is use our heroes to build up these different regions, while at the same time trying to attack these dangerous areas. And the dangerous areas is what's going to get us the points during the game. So this here is our player mat. And on it we have these special buildings that we can build. And when we build them, we'll get a benefit. So if we built this, we now have 2 wood always on our board. This one gives us 2 fighting attacks. This one gets us 2 berries. This increases our storage. This one allows us a build action whenever we need to build. And this one allows us an attack action. We also have 20 creatures. We have a little rat, an owl, a bunny, and a frog. So when we build a building, it can be these or the ones up here. These ones are the same buildings, but you do not need the honey pot to build them. You need different sets of resources. So when we build one of these or one off our player mat, we're going to home an animal, which means taking an animal and placing it on the building on the main board that we've built. And by doing so, it will release different rewards. So I'm going to give you the overview of a player. Now, each player would take a turn and the next player would go, but for this demo, I'm just going to be focusing on the one player. So we have a set of cards. I'm using set A, and you place a card. Now you can place it anywhere in the 6 zones, but I'm going to place this one here. This allows me to gather wood, 1 per wood symbol. So we have a symbol here. We have a walking symbol and a wood symbol, and we have 1 on our board. So that would allow me 2 wood. We start the game with 1 honey pot. And what I was mentioning is here on each of these, you'll see a honey pot. You only need the honey pots to make these buildings off your player board. You don't need a honey pot for anything else. But they are hard to come by. And that would be my turn, and the next person would go. So we're back to me, and I want to do it again. I'm going to put it down here because I still need more wood to build. So I can gather 1. I now have 1, 2, 3 wood. So I would get 3 wood. So I now have enough to build this. I always like to build this one first because it will increase my storage. So my next turn comes around and I can play this card, and I'm going to play it over the wood because I already have enough wood symbols now. So this allows me to walk to and gather a berry. We're always doing the little lightning rods or the instant effects. These ones here I'll be showing later. And this is a new one that came out. So twice while this card is up, you could always spend 1 wood to walk 1 per foot. We currently have 1, 2 feet. However, this says walk to gather a berry. So over here on the board, we have our main character. It always starts in this area. Now to walk to, if there's a dangerous area, it doesn't affect you, but you have to spend 1 walk. Later, when this gets removed, I could go from here to here for 1, but while this is here, I have to go 1, 2. But nothing happens to you crossing the dangerous area. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm here, it says walk to, so I'm going to go 1, 2. And the reason why I might want to come here is because there's a honey pot. And if I build on top of that honey pot, I will get it into my storage and into my supply. So that's what I want. So I'm going to spend my turn. I walk 2, and it also said gather a berry. I gather a berry. Now hopefully nobody else is going and building there, because the next thing I want to do is build. And maybe I'll put this here. Now you don't have to put it in this order. You can put these wherever you want. However, the further away, you're going to see later, the longer it's going to take for them to come back into your hand. But just for now, I'm going to put build one. And so I am as I said, I want to build this one because I want to increase my storage. So it cost me 1 honey pot and 4 wood. And I get to build it here. Now, because I have that area available, I'm putting it there, and I get my honey pot back. So now I have to decide who do I want to put on there. At this point, it doesn't make much difference. I don't have any cards or anything to dictate. So just for the game, I'm going to put the rat on. So I just put him here. So regardless of who comes first, the first benefit for every single animal is to get a new hero card. And these are your hero cards. So down here in this top row, we have different hero cards. And they all give you different effects. So up here, this is the benefits it'll have to activate things. Down here, it has different things. So gather 1 stone per stone thing, whereas here you already have 2 on this card. This one allows you to use an ability you already have on your board. This one you only use when you shuffle, when you move the cards over. Here is a walk card. And this one's a little different because you can attack 2 per 3 berries you have showing. And so it works a little differently than the normal attacks. So I may go for this guy just because sometimes it's harder to get stone. And if you want to build the townhouses, you need a lot of stone. Or the town halls, sorry. So I would take him. Now, when it's person's turn is over, what you do is the last one gets put away and you move all the cards down and replace it. And this way you're always going through the pile to get a variety of cards. So he just comes into my hand ready to use. Now the other thing I can do, because I have built here and I've moved to a different area, I have this favor token and there's one at all the different areas. So I can trade in my favor token to get a favor. And this is how we get points at the end of the game. So this is 2 areas are both full, have the same number of buildings in exactly 2 clearings, have at least 1 building in 4 clearings, home at least 3 rabbits in windmills, have exactly 2 boathouses in Wanderer's Way. Now I might go for this one because it's one of the most points. And since we're early in the game, I should easily be able to build 1 building in 4 clearings. So I'm going to get that, add it just to my play area. And then back here, it's the same thing. The last one goes away. We move them down to show 2 more cards. So home the most villagers and 1 point per war banner you have. And the war banners are these that we are going to attack momentarily. So the next hero I'm going to play is attack. And I can attack 1 per sword. So I'm going to put this down. And I have 1 sword, 2 swords. That's it. So I only have a power of 2. So you come and look where you are located. And I have these 2 dangerous areas. This one is a 2. This one is a 3. So I can only attack this one, and it gives me 2 points. So I just move on to the board like that. This comes into my area, and I want to keep it because I could get a favorite card that will give me points for them. But the other thing is it allows me to move down this track. So I'm going to go here and get the 2 fruit benefit because I don't really have a card right now to get me fruit. And I add that to my area. Now, since we're over here, each time anybody attacks, they're going to move down. This is another place where you can get honey. But when you get here, you get one of these trophies. Now, this one, only the person who gets the trophy gets the points. But on every other trophy, the other players who don't get the trophy still get a benefit because you've all helped progress the way down. It's sort of luck and chance of who actually is getting that trophy. When all 6 of these trophies are gone, that triggers the end of the game. And the other way you can get a trophy is if you are the last person to build in an area and you fill the entire area, that then also will allow you to get a trophy. So those are the two ways to get trophies, and the two ways, and then the way the end of the game happens. So I attacked, I got my thing. So another big part of the game is moving your cards, and that's where this arrow comes in. So we're moving their cards off the board, and that's why it's important of where you place them on your board, because of how quick they'll come back to your hand. So we start here, I shift this one, and it allows me to gather a berry. I shift this one, and I could spend 1 wood to gather a stone, and I have 1 wood, and so I will get a stone. And these go back into your hand. I shift this one, and I do not have a shifting action. I shift this one, it allows me to walk 1 per feet, so I have 2 feet happening. So I might take advantage of that because I want to move. Now, because I attacked this, I no longer have to worry about it. So I'm only going to actually walk 1 foot over to this area. Because I have that card where I need to build in 4 different areas, I want to keep being on the move. So I'll move into this area here to set me up for the next round. And then this shifts over. Now, if this came off the board, this is when it comes off, I'd be allowed to build 1 again. So if so once it comes off into your hand, you can build. That is what that symbol means. And so that was my turn. I shifted my cards. I got a few back into my hand. We can look here to see I have enough here that I could build like one of my markets, or I could build this windmill to give me the attack option available. So I have that to think about in the future. But that is basically how the game is played. Those are the main things you do. You're collecting, gathering, you're building, you're attacking, and you're moving around, trying to fill in the different areas, gather a bunch of favor cards that will give you points at the end of the game, getting new heroes as we go that will give you stronger benefits than what your starting cards have, trying to attack, and then just build it up, home your villagers, and you just play until all 6 of the trophies have been gathered. So there is a solo mode, and you play with these green cards. And you start, depending on your level, for easy, you start with 2 basic favors, and then these can be put away. So the favors could be something like 2 points per war banner you have, and 2 points per homed owl, for example. And then they play by these cards. So you turn it over, and you have their player, and they travel 4, and they can attack 4. And they've used 1 stamina for that. Then the next time, they can build a house and build a boathouse. And they've used 2 stamina. Then favor 3, that means you come over here and you take the 3rd favor and then move around the rest and build a market. And then here it's favor 2, so it's the same idea, and attack 5. Once they have 5 stamina, then the next turn they will take a break and you start again. Now what I find with this is that I just find that it's very aggressive. While I spent 2 turns gathering, they spent 1 turn building 2 buildings. And they have strong attacks, and I found it was just really, I thought they would just be nicely putting out things and attacking and taking their time. They went in hard. Then these buildings here, throughout the game, you release them. And so what it is, at the end of the game, it's based on what you've done. For every windmill you built, they get 5 points. For every townhouse you built, they get 4. Every market, they get 3. Every house, 2. And boathouse, 1 point. And so depending how you lay them out, it'll work differently, but it's always 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They have gathered so many favor cards throughout this game. When I played solo, it went so fast. I had like I think I had about 54 points and they had 97, which is really low scoring. And it went so fast. And that was, quote, easy. They completely obliterated me because they are just building and attacking faster than you can even gather stuff to think about doing something. And then you walk. And then there's cards where it's like, go where you are and build. And so you might have that last spot where you were ready to build your spot to get your trophy. And they came in and built there. They ended up getting, I think, 5 trophies and I had 1. So I just found the solo mode for me personally was just very heavy-handed and there was no way that I came close to winning that game. So overall, we really enjoy playing Emberleaf. And I just want to mention about the dangerous areas. The first time you get the trophy from the board, then you collect the remaining dangerous areas, and when you put them back out, you put them on their opposite side. And there are 4 colors. There's pink, blue, yellow, and green that you can collect. And sometimes there's favorite cards based on the colors that you've collected. So that's good to know as well. Sometimes, too, you get higher amounts of attack, and other times it is still low. But as I said, overall, we've been enjoying playing Emberleaf. I played it at 1, 2, and 3 players. And other than the solo game going quick, the 2 and 3 player game actually ended up being about the same number of time. Now, over here, there are places that say, like, if you have 4 players, these would be uncovered. And these are on there to start. And there's also a 3-player one. Let me just... So if you're playing with 3 players, then that would be uncovered. If you're playing with 2 players, you would cover it up. So what we enjoyed is that with your hero cards, there's always something you can be doing. You can be gathering, building, or just moving them over, which they like to refer to as card dancing. Just moving them over to the next area, trying to get your cards back. There's the strategies of attacking, when to attack, how to try to get the trophies, the strategies to building and filling this up. Depending on favorite cards, you might be doing things such as I needed 4 areas at least with or have at least a building in exactly 4 areas. So say here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That means to get the card, I could not build in these 2 areas if I want to get the points. So there's different strategies depending on the favorite cards you have as well. Now, a big thing is trying to attack. This is where you're going to get most of the points during the game, especially when these bigger ones come out. And that's what's going to move you around. So that is an important thing because when I played, I didn't attack very much and I did not win. Mark and Gemma attacked and they actually tied their score, which was significantly higher than me. So attacking is a very important part of the game if you want to get those points. Now, one of the things is as you attack and move down, it's almost like you're trying to plan, is somebody going to attack or what, to try and get that trophy. So the person who gets the trophy gets the most benefits, especially those points, but other people at least will get a resource for some of the times. So it's really another thing is the strategy of when you can plan it that you're the one getting that trophy to get those bonus points. The other thing I found was with the favor cards, I would get a card and then spend my time doing it to make sure I could get the points. Whereas really what you should be doing is sort of knowing about the cards and keeping your eyes on them. And if during your gameplay there's a card there that you've already are very close to completing, then get the card. So instead of focusing on the cards to steer your game, I would play your game and then keep an eye on the cards that would benefit you there. And I found, for me personally, that was probably a bit of my downfall. So as I said, I would put this as like a medium-low strategy game because there is some strategy. It's not just like a simple game, but it's not hard to play either. As I said, there's always something to do, and depending how well you play the game will depend on the points you get. I don't play it well, but I enjoy playing it. I have not won one game I have played, but I've enjoyed playing every game we played, and I look forward to playing it more in the future. So let me know if you have played Emberleaf and what you think of this game.